What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Coach presented by Tim Hortons. I'm your host, Susie Kuhl, as always joined by Amerks head coach Seth Appert. Coach, last week, 2 back-to-back 4-3 wins. On Wednesday, overtime against Belleville. On Friday, with 2 seconds left against Syracuse, and then Saturday, a 6-2 loss. With the quick turnaround against the same team over the weekend, what's the biggest teaching moment for the young forwards?
I think overall it was a good week. When you look at your week and you go 2-1 against teams that are that physical, that heavy, with where we're at, that's a good week. I guess what I didn't like on Saturday is that we put ourselves in really good position to win that game when we let it slip away from us. So that's 2 times on the road now that we've went into the third either with a lead or down by a goal. Weren't able to finish those off. So those are learning moments of how to handle the crowd on the road. The details you have to play with on the road. You have to be sharper. You can't get away with as much.
Defenseman Lawrence Pilot and Cale Clegg get called up to Buffalo. Unfortunately, defensemen Peter Tischke and Chase Prisky are now out. How do you restructure the defensive core right now?
You know, we went from what we thought was an elite American League D-core about 4 or 5 days ago to being decimated. Two guys go up, which is great. We're happy for them. 2 guys go out, which is disappointing for them because you don't like to see any of your players get injured. So all of a sudden 4 of your top 8 are out of the lineup, and now you're scrambling a little bit. So Jason Carmanos and I talked quite a bit on Sunday and Monday, and looking at some options. Zach Berzola is called up from Cincinnati, so he'll join us for practice. But we're looking at other options as well because unfortunately, none of the injuries either in Buffalo or here to our D-core are short term. They're all going to be weeks, multiple weeks probably. So it's not something that you want to just survive and piecemeal together.
A little bit of a lighter week this week, 2 back-to-back games in Laval on Friday and Saturday. It's the first lengthy road trip. What's the biggest thing you're excited for?
Yeah, I like getting on the road. I think being on the road is good for camaraderie. Obviously Laval, Montreal's a good city. So go up there, we'll practice in Laval on Thursday afternoon. Guys have opportunities to be able to go to dinner with their buddies, with their teammates, things like that. I just think going on the road, very hard place to play. The crowds there are unbelievable. It's a really fun atmosphere, but a challenging atmosphere. A lot of bus time, guys playing cards, watching movies, things like that. Those things go a long way, especially when you're a real young team and young in the season, to build the camaraderie that you need to have to be a winning team.
Well, don't we know about that Laval atmosphere from the North Division Finals last year? That was another episode of Coffee with Coach. Of course, I'm Susie Kuhl, Seth Appert. We'll see you next week.